Alrighty team, so it is Sunday the 15th of June. We're about 4 weeks out from the Wellington 65 kilometre ultra marathon, the Waipukurau. Just completed the biggest run of the prep yesterday with my brother and a friend. It was 51 kilometres, about 800 metres of climbing, so not a huge amount of climbing, but some good little hills in there. And yeah, everything's feeling really good, everything's going to plan. So I just want to recap this week of training and then what I've got planned for the remaining 4 weeks. And really how this prep has been different than previous race preps, but just want to discuss the reason why it's working so well so far. So sort of what I've mentioned in the past is when I get into preparing for a race, I sort of drastically change my training and I ramp it up a lot more than just when I'm regularly just running for enjoyment and for fitness and just for fun and health and all of that. And so this time around, I've decided that, or this year rather, I've entered more races, and the prep for each race is just, the main goal is just stay healthy and still get faster and fitter in certain little areas, but really not try and dig myself into a hole like I've done in the past. So this week I did, so basically what I'm doing at the moment is I'm running Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays, and then cross training on the Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So this week I did 2 workouts, Tuesday and Thursday, and then the big long run yesterday on the Saturday. For the rest of the prep, I was discussing this with my brother yesterday. What he's doing a Wednesday workout, Saturday long run, and I'm going to be doing the same for the rest of this prep. This week was a little bit of pushing the boundaries a little bit, doing 2 workouts and a long run. So now I'm just going to play it safe. We ticked off this big run, it went really well, so let's now play it safe and just continue to build into this race. So this week, Tuesday was a 20 kilometre steady run with some hills involved. Essentially it's a 3 kilometre run, warm up to get to a local park that has some rolling hills in it. So essentially I was just attacking the hills pretty hard on the up and then just cruising through the undulating sections, and then on the flat sections, if I was feeling good, I picked it up. Otherwise I would just sort of treat the flat sections as like a little bit of a recovery until I hit the next hill, and then 3Ks running home. And so it was a 20 kilometre run in total. Then I did a leg session that night after work, just in my garage, just did some weights. I think the main focus by memory was hips, hamstring, calf area, sort of where all my problem areas generally are, so I'm working on strengthening them more in this prep. Then Thursday did a pyramid session at the gym on the treadmill. So it was a 5-minute, so it was all incline on the treadmill. Every rest period was 2 minutes with just one incline at 5 minutes per kilometre. And then the sets were 5 minute, 4 minute, 3 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 back up the pyramid. And as each set got reduced by a minute in time, I increased the speed and the incline by 10 seconds per kilometre in speed and 1 extra incline. So started off at 5 minute Ks at 6 incline, and then dropped it down as I got down to the 1 minute reps. My fastest one was 4:16 per kilometre at 11 incline. So never got to anything crazy in this workout. It was just a good extended workout with a lot of climbing on the treadmill. And then I finished with 4 sets of 200 metres and 1 set of 400 metres, just at 3 minute per kilometre pace. I wanted to go faster, but the treadmill didn't go any faster, so who knows, maybe it was saving me from myself, maybe going faster than that was a bit too much for the week. But anyway, so yeah, we got through those 2 workout days, Tuesday, Thursday. Friday was super chill, went for a walk and did about 15 minutes of weights just to prepare for the Saturday long run. And so yeah, so Saturday long run yesterday, 51 kilometres out in the rural sort of road area of Waipukurau. where my brother lives and our mate lives. Met them out there, and I was actually saying this to my brother near the end of the run. I realised that, and this is not an exaggeration. This was the very first time I've done a long run where I've fueled correctly and I've fueled enough. I have notoriously underfueled ever since I started running. Part of it was just I had this mentality that the more I push my body in terms of restricting, not luxuries, but sort of performance enhancing things, like the more I have minimalist shoes and the less amount of fuel I take in and the less amount of water I have during a run, the more I make the run more stripped down and raw. In my mind, it was always, there was such an appeal to that sort of just rawness to it, and there was less assistance from technology, if that makes sense. And I still like to keep that sort of energy or mentality or whatever. I still like to keep that in my back pocket to a small degree. I like that little bit of wildness, but at the same time, when you're wearing your watch and it's telling you that you've burnt upwards of 3,000, nearly 4,000 calories in a run, it's pretty evident that taking on fuel is going to help. And so around about, because I started off the run kind of sore, I felt quite sore, and then the hills really started hitting around 20 kilometres, I think, something around there, and that's when the legs, it almost felt like it was scratching the legs, like giving them an itch, like the hills sort of woke them up in a way. And then as the run went on, my legs just felt better and better, and I think a lot of that was just because I was constantly taking in fuel. And yeah, it's taken me so many years to finally get into this bloody thick head of mine that the fuel is important. And yeah, I definitely felt it yesterday, made it just an absolute joy. And for the whole rest of the day, it didn't feel like I'd just run 51 kilometres. It was bizarre. It was sort of quite surreal that we did it so almost, not effortlessly, but it really didn't feel like much of a struggle at all, and which is a really good sign. I'm putting it down to the cross training and making sure that this block is all about staying healthy and not overdoing anything, like I've been mentioning in all these previous videos. Feeling it actually working is very very satisfying, and it makes, like today, for example, I just went for a recovery walk this morning. I'm going to do some light weights tonight. The old me would have forced a run out of my body today, even though it was a silly idea. And so it's just maturing in those ways, and just learning from past mistakes, and then getting to actually enjoy those quality runs, making sure you come into them healthy, and you can actually, I'm going to get so much more benefit from this run because I executed it correctly. If I had overtrained all week leading up to it, and then absolutely suffered through it, and then forced another run out of my body today, that's why I would always get sick and injured in the past, just simply doing too much, trying to pretend I'm a professional runner or something, I don't really know, but yeah, anyway, yeah, cross-training and fueling, two biggest changes I've made in this prep, and yeah, all is going well. So yeah, like I said, for the next few weeks, it'll just be Wednesday workouts, Saturday long runs, and just really try and get some real quality in those 2 days. And then the other days are going to be essentially what my plan is for the next few weeks is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday running, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday will be the cross training. And that'll about do it. And next week will be a fairly big week, and then the taper will begin. We'll be 2 weeks out, I believe. No, scratch that. Two more big-ish weeks, and then the 2 week taper. Yeah, so really looking forward to it. I ran in the Topo Spectres yesterday. They're basically at 500 Ks now, so I'm going to look at doing that 500 kilometre shoe review video soon. I think they definitely deserve that kind of video. They're a bloody good shoe. And I've got a few other little projects that I'm working on and behind the scenes, just a couple different training concept sort of videos that I'd like to discuss that are sort of different to these running rants. Yeah, that'll about do it for today. I think that's pretty much all we've got covered for this week. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Cheers.